Viking here at Nagel's Gun Shop in San Antonio, Texas, and today we're going to be looking at two really nice guns that we have in stock at the moment. These are both from STI. They are Staccatos. These are the C squared or C2 models. If you look at how it's printed, it's very clearly a C square, but they often say C2. The one on the left is kind of the standard, and the one on the right is the tactical with the optics ready package. Does not come with the red dot, but we do sell it as a package on special with this red dot sight. We currently have that in stock and on special, so it's a really good thing to look at. These guns have a reputation for being very, very easy to shoot accurately. They're very smooth, they're well made, they're well crafted pieces of equipment. It's got a DLC coating on all the metal parts. So it's got the alloy frame here, which is an aluminum alloy. It's very lightweight. And it's got the steel slide and all that, and all of it's DLC coated, and that's a coating that will hold up for a very, very long time. It's one of the best finishes you can get on a gun for durability and rust resistance. This one has the optional rail, and I would recommend this day and age, if you're going to get a modernized 1911 style gun, get one with a rail, because lights are very important and only going to become more important with time. Both of these are sporting the rail, and I would recommend that. Some people do like the traditional lines without the rail, though. I understand that, but you are limiting your options for future upgrades for lights and the like. The sights on this one that's optics ready are very high, and the reason for that is it lets it co-witness with the red dot. And you can actually see if you line up the irons, the red dot sits pretty much right on top of the dot there. And that's very handy, because one thing is these dots, if it's just hanging up above the gun, you're trying to find the dot in a window and it's very hard without any frame of reference. What you really want to do with these is bring it up and try to find your irons like you normally would. And as you find the iron sights, you'll transition over to that dot, because the dot will show up on top of the irons. So as you bring the irons together, suddenly you can see the dot and you can start using the dot instead of the irons. If you didn't have these iron sights to work with, finding the dot on its own is very difficult. That's why they co-witness these. It's even more important to have co-witness sights on a pistol than on a rifle, in my opinion. But you know, it's a very interesting platform. It holds 16 rounds in the magazine. It's a double stack. It's a high capacity 1911 style gun. So it's got the double stack Gen 2 frame on here. It's a hybrid frame with the alloy serialized part and then the polymer grip housing. And that's very nice, because it lets you have these high capacity, very large magazines. 16 rounds in the gun, actually 16 rounds in the magazine, 17 rounds in the gun if you're carrying it cocked and locked. The safety is ambidextrous, which is how it really should be. You need to be able to use the gun in both hands. So these are very nice in that regard. Unlike some double stack 1911s, this one does have a grip safety, which is more traditional. A lot of people like that. There are different opinions, but it is a nice thing to have, and it means that the gun works more like a traditional 1911. It has been modified in its design a whole lot in that regard. The action on these is extremely smooth. I mean, it's hard to describe, and obviously a video is not going to do it justice, but it's obviously been fit very, very well. And it's really quite a work of art and craftsmanship. It's a very tight lockup. There is no play or extra room. Another thing about these, unlike, say, a Glock or something, is these have single-action triggers, true single-action. So it's going to have that little bit of loose take-up, but that's not really what you're worried about. Once you get to the wall there, it is a very, very short, very crisp trigger. And it's really nice. It makes it easy to shoot. You're not fighting with the gun. You're just putting the dot on what you want, adding a tiny bit of pressure, and bullet goes where you want it to go. They send all of these with test targets that have been fired. And, these are really good shooting pistols. You will have a hard time finding something that shoots better in a pistol platform. So they're really nice in that regard. I would recommend either of these if you're looking for something that doesn't have an optic. And a lot of people don't like these optics. I mean, I like them, but if you want to conceal carry, this is a lot of stuff on top of your gun. And inside the waistband, that can be a lot to deal with. So you can get it without the optic and without the optic cut. It's a very sleek, low-profile gun then. This has the sights that you can use to cock the pistol if you need to on a belt loop or a table or something. And other than that, it's pretty much the same configuration. Ambi everything, DLC, Gen 2 grip frame, same magazines. These are also Dawson sights. They're just not the optics ready ones. But if you are going to carry outside the waistband, or if you don't mind carrying inside the waistband with an optic, this does add a lot of options and flexibility. The nice thing about these optics is not so much precision in shooting. You can shoot pretty precisely with the irons. it's shooting while moving or while a target is moving, or if you're getting a little older and your eyes aren't as crisp as they used to be, it can be very helpful with that. And those are all three things that are night and day different when you put one of these red dot sights on there. If you try to walk around and shoot, it is much easier with a red dot than with the iron sights. You can actually use this while taking steps forward or to the side. I find with iron sights that's a very hard thing to do because the sights are constantly moving out of alignment, and to do it precisely is not really something you can do, to be honest, unless you're a world-class shooter like Jerry Mikulik or something. These are both available currently. We try to keep them in stock, but obviously these are kind of high lead time items. They are custom, put together by a smith kind of guns, and you can't just get these off an assembly line. So if you're interested in getting one, I'd definitely give us a call and take a look at it in the near future. I wouldn't hesitate too much. And we have them at 6201 San Pedro Avenue, Nagel's GunShop. You can contact us by phone at 210-342-5420. And if you want to buy one, you can always pay for it over the phone and come pick it up as soon as you have the availability. That makes it a little bit faster. And we'd like to see you in the near future and put one of these in your hand. Let's take a look at it.